Veterans, a VA C&P exam evaluates your condition for the claim, but it may miss key details, while an independent medical opinion provides a thorough, evidence based link between your disability and your service. If your exam falls short, an IMO can be the difference in getting properly rated. Let's go. What's up, veterans? Hey, Stacey Allen here at Valor Health, and with me tonight, we brought in Matt Brown. He's over at Warrior Benefits, amazing guy. Matt, how you doing tonight, brother?
All right, Stacey, thanks for having me. It's good to represent Warrior Benefits and the partnership with Valor Health.
Right on. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about IMOs versus VA exams, or better known as CMP exams. A lot of good information to come tonight. But before we do that, share a little bit about myself. So I'm an Army veteran, Desert Storm vet. I served from 87 to 93 in the medical space. After that, I went into federal law enforcement, worked specifically for the Bureau of Prisons for 26 years, retired there in 2019. And when I retired, Matt, that's actually when I started working on my claim. So it was 20 some years after I got out of the Army that I finally started working on my VA claims. And so glad I did. Looking back, I left a lot of benefits on the table for sure. And so that's really kind of what got me into this space is to kind of help other vets not make the same uh, lapses in judgment that I made. Right. So, well, if you don't mind, man, tell the people, tell the world about yourself.
No, I get it. I kind of had similar instances. So I served for 8 years, 1997 Gulf War vet in the infantry. Um, I was denied from my initial claims, and it took me 23 years just to get that initial claim recorded from my first initial date of exit. So I do understand veterans' frustrations and problems with moving down the navigating the VA system per se. It's confusing. It's difficult. The VA isn't there to help you, and it takes people like Warrior Benefits and Valor Health to provide those medical uh, opinions that help us move along the way.
Right, right. Well, and what are your benefits? What specifically do you do over there?
So we help veterans. We're a coaching service. We help them navigate. We develop a buddy system to help them move along, and we help guide them. We can't file or fill out paperwork for them, but what we can do is help them build those building blocks to climb that ladder to success. I always think that what Valor and what Warrior benefits together is that link in success.
Yeah, well said, well said. It's difficult to do this on your own if you don't know what you're doing, right? So you don't know what you don't know, and I'm a perfect example of that. I didn't know the benefits that I qualified for until I started, learning the process, and I went through a company similar to Warrior Benefits that
Mhm.
really kind of pulled the curtain back for me and let me see what was going on. So, and then just back up a little bit, I actually moved forward with the coaching company as a coach, and I really really learned the process. And what I found, Matt, was that most veterans were not losing their claims because of things that didn't happen, or they wasn't really dealing with anything. It was really a lack of medical evidence, and so that's really what led me to launch Valor Health, right? And we've been doing this for a little over a year now, and man, so many success stories of veterans coming through and using our services and our help, and it's just, man, that fills my cup. Just helping other vets, right?
Right. You know, when you get a vet and they tell you how you changed their life and their children's life or their spouse's life and lets them get the benefits that they've been denied for so long. I mean, literally, it took me 27 years to get to where I wanted to be and to get, just actually dental care to the point because my conditions and my acid reflux just ruined my teeth, and it was just looking for that connection to help me get there. But medical evidence is so important because you need to have that service connection, and but most importantly, you need to, the veterans need to describe how their daily life is affected by those conditions.
Yeah, because it's a lot of times more than just a little knee pain. What is that knee? How does that knee pain, affect your quality of living? When you want to go hiking with the family or play ball with the kid or something like that.
Right.
Um,
Go to work every day, climb the stairs.
yeah.
If you're a long road trucker, shift the gears. I mean, there's so many different conditions that can affect you, and it takes sometimes veterans the the reality to realize that they had these problems. It could be talking to other veterans. With Word Benefits, where like we sit there in partnership with them. We build a battle plan and we help them move forward and help them recognize sometimes some of the issues that they are having. Sometimes you're so much into it, you're so dug into your life that you don't realize you have these issues. Kind of is the case with me. I was sitting there listening to other veterans talk, and I was listening. I'm like, I got that problem. I got that problem. Hmm, maybe that explains some things. And it was also listening to my kids talk about how they had to deal with dad and his anxiety and his rapid aggression sometimes. And although I thought I was having this wonderful life with them, they were seeing it from a different point of view.
Mm, yeah. But now that you've kind of gone through that and the curtain pulled back for you, so not only do you get, recognized for what you carry around with you every day, but now that you know that, you can make life changes on your own to better yourself,
Well,
right?
100%, and I'm able to with my benefits is able to go and find a provider that will help me and listen to me and give me the medications or the counseling I needed to get in a better headspace.
Yeah.
And that's what these CP exams and the nexus letters and this that medical evidence when you get that stuff and it's provided, it allows you to explain to the VA what how your life is affected because they're looking for three things. They're not saying that you don't have a diagnosis. They understand you have a diagnosis. They're not saying that you're not service connected. They might recognize that you're service connected, but until you identify through the medical opinions and your VA exams how you are affected by these things, how you can be transparent and open and honest, until you get to that point, your claims are probably gonna get denied every time.
Well, you just sparked something in me. I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago, Mark and Al over at Warrior
Mhm.
Benefits talked about those three things in a Mario Kaluza
Mhm.
discussion that they had. We're going to put the link to that video in the description here. Um, but it was a great topic talking about the three things that the VA needs to see in order to approve or adjudicate a claim, right? And like you said, it's that in-service event, a current diagnosis, and a nexus. And I won't get into what all that is. Go over there and watch that video. They explain it really well. But today we're going to talk about VA C&P exams and IMOs. IMO, independent medical opinion. What's the difference, right? So I'll touch on IMO since that's kind of our specialty here at Valor Health. When you hear the term IMO or Nexus, they're really used interchangeably. IMO, independent medical opinion. So independent, it's a doctor that's really putting together their opinion based on objective evidence that they see in the records and then during their evaluation with you, right? So they don't work for the VA. They don't really work for you either. They're independent. So um, we don't we don't say that we advocate for you because that really gets out of that space of being independent, right? So we just try to tell the truth in what we see. So an IMO But a lot of times that IMO or that nexus letter is what the veteran needs to be able to show the VA, hey, I'm dealing with this today because of my service or because of another service related condition, right?
Right.
And that IMO just puts it all together for them, and they use supporting evidence like peer reviewed medical articles, journals, and stuff that's been proven. Um, so it's just really clear to the VA of why you should be service connected for what you do today. In contrast, in contrast, the CMP exam or compensation and pension exam, also known as a VA exam, is an exam that the VA orders to determine if what you're dealing with is service related. What do you think
Right.
about the CMP exams, Matt?
Well, in my personal experience, they can be
That,
impersonal, they can be rushed. You can walk out of there feeling like I don't feel like I was listened to. Uh, you know, uh, Pro tip is attend the VA exam. When I had got my first VA exam, I didn't realize that they were going to call me, and so I didn't take the call. And then I got a denial letter. I was like, "Why did I get a denial letter?" And it, going through the process was a tough thing, and learning the process helped me out with where it benefits because I can help direct veterans in the correct pathway. But it took that feeling of being incomplete exams and just impersonal and just kind of feeling like, even when you got your decision letters, you read them, you're like, man, I stated that, and I feel like that I wasn't listened to. You know,
yeah. And let me say, I'm not here to bash on CMP examiners.
no, 100%.
Yeah, they're there to do a job, and I think for the most part, they really have a heart for veterans. That's why they do what they do. But I'll tell you, the machine that they live in, they have so much time to do so much, and
Right.
so like you said, when things get rushed, they are under a time crunch.
Right. Well, they're designed to follow VA regulations and rating criteria, right? So they got to stay
Yeah.
within their pathway. Um, Sometimes, the exams might be understated in severity. They might fail to fully address what our conditions are, for working daily functioning. And it's just also how us as vets report our conditions as well. It's not always the rater. I don't want to bash the raters. That they've a lot of them has been really great and listen to what I have to say, but it's the fact that if we are weak or unclear about the opinions that we need them to address, it, if we don't make a clear picture for them, if we don't clean the window of the foggy window, they're not going to see through it.
Ah, it's a great. I've never heard that analogy, but I like that. Yeah, just you have to show them a clear picture, and that's what that nexus letter or that independent medical opinion does
Yes, sir.
to a T. Love it, man. Well, want to dive a little bit deeper into this, but again, you're in the business of kind of taking veterans by the hand and showing them what they need to do, educating them in the process, kind of making them experts for their own destiny, right?
Right. So,
Yep.
again, we create a partnership. We kind of do a deep dive into the records, look for any cracks where they might have a pitfall and they might fall into. Help them keep that motivation going because, as vets, we kind of get in our own head sometimes. We don't want to move forward. Um, and together, we help them file their claim. We don't file the claim for them. We don't complete the paperwork, but what we do is kind of guide them on how to do it. Um, we also hook them up with professional medical providers such as Valor Health to help them get that medical, independent medical opinions, nexus letters, DBQs, because again, that's that strong evidence that the VA is looking for to show how we are affected in our daily lives. Until they see that, it's just not a clear picture.
Yeah, love it. Matt, if someone wanted to work with you, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach out to Warrior Benefits. Uh, Here's the link. It should be here at the bottom. They can
It's
reach
like
out to us.
magic, huh?
Boom. Uh, but what it is, it allows us to just partner with them, and it really is a partnership. I tell veterans, I said, look, man, if I need to carry you on my back and we need to climb that mountain, we're going to do it together because it's what it is. I need them to have faith that we're going to work for them, and I need them to I need to have faith that they're going to do the work that we put in. It's going to be homework. There's homework involved in this, right? They got to go out there and upload their paperwork. They got to talk to their providers and their doctors and get that medical documentation where it shows that insert or that they have the disability, the diagnosis to for us to even move forward with. Because until those things, we can't even do the other. We can't get that in-service connection without at least having a diagnosis.
Yeah, yeah, great point. So if a veteran, comes to you and says, "Hey, I got my own doctor that said that they'll write me a Nexus letter," that okay?
Sure, sure, that's okay. I mean, it's because it's not going to be. The great thing about the Nexus letters is they're written in a way the VA wants to hear it, right? I always say that they're written in that VA language, the lingo, right? Um, the Nexus letters have many key components, and it's kind of like you stated already. They're gonna show that how that veterans affected. They're gonna include VA law. They're gonna include uh, VA decisions,
Mhm.
law decisions. They're gonna show that medical journals and stuff, and all that combined shows that clear path on why this veteran service connected.
Yeah, yeah, great point. And I'll tell you, I love doctors that are willing to write letters for their clients. And listen, a lot of them won't. A lot of them, they just don't have the time. They don't get paid to write letters for their clients. They get paid to treat them, right?
Right,
Um,
and sometimes they're going to just say in the lay terms, where the VA wants to hear it in their terms per se.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. But I'll tell you, I've reviewed a ton of letters from private doctors, and I've seen some really good ones, and I've seen some, well, not. I guess it's like that everywhere and everything, right? There's good and bad and everything. So
Right.
I would say, if you come to us or you come to Warrior Benefits and you have a letter that a doctor has wrote for you, yeah, let us take a look at it. We'll shoot you straight. At the end of the day, both both Matt and myself, we want the veteran to win their claim. We want them to get what they deserve, right? That's the
Well,
bottom
I
line.
tell I tell veterans, if you went to Outback Steakhouse, you bought $100 steak, would you leave 50% of that steak on your plate? If you rate it at 50, would you leave 50% of your steak on the plate? No, most people wouldn't, right? So why were we going to do that for our own health, our own benefits? It's the intangible things that we don't see. It's not just financial stuff. It's the health care, it's the dental care, it's the care for my wife, it's the education benefits for my children. There are so many things that you don't see besides the financial gain.
Yeah, yeah, great point. Great point, man. Well, I'll tell you what, if someone wants to come over, if they're already working with a VSO or an attorney or some other accredited agent or
Mhm.
another coaching company, certainly if you need the medical evidence, come on over to Valor Health. We're not exclusive with Warrior Benefits. We're exclusive to veterans, right? So we're in the business of helping our brothers and sisters in arms. So if you want to come over and have us take a look, we can do a free case evaluation. Look at there, magic again, at valorhealth.net. So if you jump over there to our website, valorhealth.net, sign up for a free case eval. You'll talk to one of our case analysts, and we'll let you know what we can do for you. So love it.
Hey, thank you for having us. Thank you for letting me represent Warrior Benefits. Again, we're here to help vets. We're vets helping vets. That's our goal. We just want them to have a better quality of life. Want them to recognize what their disabilities are and how they can move forward through the labyrinth of the VA process. And all in we're proud of their service. We're family members too, and again, we're just here to help them. If they're working with a VSO, that's great, but it's kind of like your public defender. and you're Johnny Cochran's, and we're those Johnny Cochran's.
You're the Johnny Cochran. I
Yeah.
got you, man. All right, love it, man. Well, Matt, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today and sharing some of those wisdom nuggets. And absolutely love it. Listen, if you've made it this far in the video, down in the description, we're going to put a link over to a blog post that's really going to go in depth on the differences between an IMO and a VA exam or a CMP exam. So that'll be down below. I would ask that if you like, subscribe, share this video out. That always helps with the algorithm and getting our messages out to more and more veterans. So till next time, we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, Vince.